That's like oxygen to a flame.
What's the get down?
You don't know what the fucking get down is?
Hey everybody, I'm here to talk about the third episode of The Get Down. Now, in this episode, it starts off with Jackie, and he's going to try to get, some seed money to do this little demo album for Mylene. Because, her uncle is on his back about getting everything done. So we find out that he's not really respected in the music industry anymore because of his gambling and his drug problem. He was once this Grammy nominated, awarded, producer, writer, and he kind of fell off because of his habits. So, the guy cusses him out in front of people and, just humiliates him and tells him, you need to get up out of here. I'm the only person who would really work with you. How dare you come in here and ask me for $5,000 when you gonna sniff half of it? Get out of here. No. And so he kicks him out. So Jackie goes and he talks to Mylene's uncle, and he's like, he just spun the story. He didn't tell him what really happened, okay? He was just like, they be getting over on people, and yeah, you might give him the money to do this, but, he may not do it, blah, blah, blah. He just, try to downplay it and talk bad about dude, and to get Mylene's uncle to finally say, well, how much does it cost? I'll give you the money to, have it done right. I just want to own this piece of work and, give me all the ownership of everything that you do, and I'll just supply you with the money. Just get it done. And so he gives him, I think, what did he give him, like $10,000? He gave him however many $1,000s to get it done. And so Jackie leaves up out of there happy, and he's good to go. So Jackie's next stop is to see Cadillac so he can get him some drugs and to pay him back some money that he owes. So while he's there, Cadillac and Jackie are talking, and he's talking about this new act that he has, this new girl who can really sing, but he's really not a disco writer, producer. Disco isn't his thing. He writes songs with substance and things like that. So, this whole disco thing is not really his genre. And so Cadillac, oh my goodness, since he's a composer, obviously, he gives him this song to try. And, Jackie takes it and he's like, all right, thank you. We'll see how it goes. And I'm thinking, come on. You remember when Fat Annie was like, oh, y'all think y'all can do something? You're really not good for nothing other than selling drugs, and all you're going to do is go out there and try, fail, and come back to selling these drugs. She must have been talking about her son. But anyway. And speaking of Fat Annie, in this episode, we see what all Shaolin Fantastic had to go through just to get back in the game. Okay, he had to sleep with Fat Annie. Now look, let me just say here, I'm not making this face because it's an older woman and a younger guy. I'm making this face because of her face. Okay, I don't have nothing against, older women finding them a little young thing, because men do it all the time. So why should I frown my face up when she do it? No. But I mean, if she was a cuter older lady, then okay, I'd be like, get it, girl, do you. But not Fat Annie. I don't even care about her being big. Okay, it's just the face, honey. You can be big all up in the body, but cute in the face, and I'll still be like, oh, she's pretty. But no, no offense to the actress that plays Fat Annie. I'm just saying, for the sake of the show, girl, that's what makes it a little extra creepy for me. But anyway, so at the end of their little, booty call session, Cadillac comes in there, and you can tell he's just disgusted with what his mama is up in here doing with this little boy who's younger than him, okay? And she tells Cadillac to give him some work to do. So he says, I got something for you to do. I need you to get rid of this car for me. Now, the car is DJ Malibu's car. And he's dead because he got shot up in the club. And little does Shaolin know it, but it's something in that trunk that he really wants to get rid of. But anyway, so he tells him, get rid of this car. That's all you got to do today, and that's your job. Get up out of here, and don't be telling nobody you sleeping with my mama, or I'll kill you. And he's like, just give me a reason. I already want to knock you off, but just give me a reason to do it, okay? So meanwhile, back at the house, back at Rah and Boo Boo's house and Yolanda's house, their parents is getting ready to go out of town, for something for the weekend. So they left Yolanda in charge. But little did she know that the boys then concocted a little plan to throw a party to raise money because, since all of their stuff, well, it wasn't their stuff, but all of Shaolin's things were burned up in that fire. And so they're trying to get all his stuff back, his turntables, his records, just trying to help him out and raise some money. So they had went to I want to say it's like a pawn shop. And because they seen some turntables in there and they wanted to get some credit to, just make some payments on it. And the guy was like, look, you know how many of y'all come in here, telling me y'all gonna make the payments and then don't make the payment, just no, I'm not gonna be able to do it. He was like, just like this little guy came in here with this mixtape and he gonna tell me it's worth over $100 and blah, blah, blah. And what it was Grandmaster Flash's mixtape. Like it was a recording of Grandmaster mixing at a party. And so it was very valuable. So they bought it from him for $10. And they was like, look, I know we ain't supposed to do this, but we finna bite off of his style and we gonna play this tape at the party. And we gonna act like, I'm DJing. Who did it? Who was acting like? It was Boo Boo. He was like, I can act like I'm DJing and we gonna use, our parents' hair shop to throw this party and charge and raise money so they can buy the turntables. So Mylene's uncle came to her and told her that she was gonna get to record her a demo album. So she's all hype about it, and she knows that Jackie's gonna be a part of it, and he's big in the industry. So she thought, and she was just like, yes, yes, and yes again. I'm ready to get up in there and sing. So naturally, she wants the support of Zeke. So she goes to find Zeke and get him to come with her, but he decides not to go with her because Shao shows up with that car and he's like, look, I got a car, we can go joyriding, we can get high, we can just go have a good day, let's roll. And the reason why all them boys left was because that party that they tried to throw, it went awry, okay? So of course, it's never a good idea to bite somebody's style. It's not a good idea to take somebody's work and say that it's yours. So while they were having this party in the hair shop, and Yolanda was like, look, I'm going to need 20% off top of the cash. Sorry. Because y'all don't need to be doing this no way. But anyway, while they were throwing this party, some guys came in and they were like, hold up. This music sure do sound familiar. And they realized that it was Grandmaster Flash's mix. And so they shut the whole party down. I mean, they tore that place up. And what's messed up about it is that they were like, I'm going to tell Grandmaster what y'all was in here doing. And he probably, of course, he's going to be upset. And he may not work with them. I don't know. Or he may just reprimand them, because he looks at all of them as one whole unit. So I don't know if that's going to come back and bite Shaolin on the butt or what. I don't know what's going to happen. But so the boys left Yolanda and the girls at the shop to clean it up while they just go joyriding. Now, wait a minute. Y'all know y'all wrong for that. How y'all just going to leave her to clean up all of that stuff, all that glass, all of that stuff? And y'all just gonna go joyriding in the car, really? And this was y'all's mess to begin with? See, that's what little brothers will do to you. They wrong for that. So they go joyriding in this car. They're off getting high, having a good time. Oh, let me back up just a second. So, Zeke, he actually went and tried to make some legit money earlier that day. He went with his uncle to the club where Cadillac and them had the party, because it got shot up. And so they called in Leon, which is Zeke's uncle, to come fix the place up. So he went with him to fix the place up, and Cadillac seen him. And he tried to step to him or whatever, and he got smart with him, and he pushed his uncle down. His uncle was like, well, who gonna pay us, because we was up in here working. And he was like, man, please, like, I ain't paying you nothing. But Zeke did make like what, 30 something dollars that day. So they were pooling all their money together. So okay, fast forward back to them joyriding. So when it gets nighttime, it's time to ditch the car. And so somebody, I don't know what the reason was, but they opened the trunk, and then they seen the little boy's body in there. And they were all traumatized. And half the crew was like, man, let's just leave it here. Let's leave. Their fingerprints, everything is on that car, because they just been joyriding in it. People done seen them in it. So if anybody finds out about it, it's going to lead back to them, which is why Cadillac chose Shao to, get rid of it, just because he dirty. So anyway, so they decide to stick together and get rid of that car. Zeke was the main one that was like, look, we in this together. Now, I don't know how we was feeling about each other, earlier, but we got to really stay together, because, him and Shao had fallen out. So they closed that trunk, got all of their personal items out of that car, and pushed that car right on into the river, ocean, whatever it is, right there in New York. And they watched it sink to the bottom. Also that night, Mylene went to the studio with Jackie, and they're trying to do this song that Cadillac wrote, and it was lame. Everybody thought it was lame. She was singing it, but she wasn't feeling it, and she's like, honey, what am I singing? This is a dumb song. It just was not popping. And so Jackie was up in there sniffing lines and getting mad, and he turning over stuff, and that made the engineer go, man, ain't nobody got time to be fooling with you, Jackie. And he left. And so it was just Mylene and him there. Now, all of a sudden, there was this power outage, and it spread across the whole city. Now, from what I know, this actually happened in, what was it, 1977? Or 78, one of them. It was like that big power outage that lasted like 15 hours, like from one day to the next. It wasn't a full 24 hours, but it was like, it went from like one day to the next day. And so this power outage happened. So she wasn't able to record her song because, Jackie was feeling down about herself, and he told her, I'm washed up. You really don't know. I don't have the respect that your uncle thinks I have. And, it's just not, I'm not who I used to be. And she told him, but, your past is your past. You done did what you did. All you can do is redeem yourself. So let's sit down at this piano, play this song, and I'm going to sing, and we going to work something out. And so, he plays and she sings, and he's like, you the real deal. And she says, we can do this together. If you're willing to work with me, I'm willing to put my faith in you. I trust you, and we can do it. So you can see he had kind of a turn. So I think that's going to actually make him be a better person, because somebody believes in him. And I think it's a good pairing, because he's good. He can play the piano. He's good at what he does. He's just going to incorporate what he does to the disco stuff that she knows. So, they're just going to work together and make it work. So they have a really good night. And she said she sung the best she's ever sung in her life, even though they didn't get to record it, but it was still good. Meanwhile, back over at her uncle's place, Mylene's mama busts up in there, and she's like, where is Mylene? Her daddy is going crazy. He hit her again, and it's just too much. My whole family is falling apart. The little baby girl is crying. Where's her sister? I mean, it's so much going on. It's because of you. You the one that gassed her up and told her she could sing and blah, 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 blah. So she's just going off on him. And he tells her, look, y'all are smothering her. She wouldn't have acted out the way that she did if you would just support her. Why y'all can't just support her dream? You're crushing her dream. And he said, and even look what's happened to you since you've been with my brother. And I guess he was just saying, you used to be vibrant. Now it's just like you a slave in the house. Like, what's going on? So she got pissed, but you could see it hit home. And it rung true to her, because she was mad, and then she thought about it, and, she almost teared up a little bit. And then the power outage happened. And then there was this moment, y'all, where he turned on some little music. And he asked her to dance, and they started dancing together. Now, there was this chemistry between them that lets you know that they used to date. Something happened between them. Like he told her, you may see me with women and I may, be flashy and all this stuff, but I always go to bed alone. And he said, and I have since 1960 something. So it's been a long time since he's had somebody, a woman in his life, since whatever time that was, in the 60s. And I'm thinking, is that because you and her was dating? Now you can tell the way that this actress played, I forget Marlene's mother's name, but the way that she played that, it was like, I don't know. It was like this longing, like they used to be together, because there's this familiarity with them. Like the way that they danced, they've done that before. The way that they almost kissed, they've done that before. He let her know, I'm not gonna let nothing happen to you and my brother and Mylene. Like, y'all are my family. I'm not gonna let anything happen to you. I may do bad things, but I got a good heart. And you can tell that, she was feeling it. And he gave her this big wad of money, and he was like, I know my brother is not going to take it, so just, put this in the collection plate a little by little over the next couple of weeks, so y'all can have that money to survive. Which, he is a good dude and he is looking out for them. But I do think that they have history together. And my next question is Mylene his daughter? Okay, I'm just saying, I'm just putting it out there. All right. Because you know what it seemed like to me? It seemed like they was together first before, his brother stepped in. And she couldn't be with him because of his dirty ways. Like, he's a good dude, but he do bad things. And maybe she couldn't get over the fact that he does bad things. That's just my prediction. I really don't know the story. I'm just watching it episode by episode. I'm not jumping ahead. So these are just my genuine guesses about what's going to happen or what the story is. So all that happened in that power outage. And at the end of it, she didn't kiss him. She just left. And he had this longing look on his face. So during this power outage, everybody is just looting. People are breaking up stuff, honey. They burning up extra buildings because, they was already burning buildings down. So Zeke was like, man, look, what make us better than everybody else? Let's go get what we want. And at first, Rob was like, man, no, we can't do that. We not like that. And he was like, come on, what make us any different from anybody else? Nope, let's go do it. Now, I think that if Zeke hadn't have seen that dead body in that trunk earlier, maybe he wouldn't have been so inclined to go, thieving. But he had just been through something, honey, and all that trauma probably just started coming back to him about his parents, being killed, and he done seen that body, and he's all messed up, and now it's like, man, I don't even care. Let's just go get what we need to get, because we'd be fools if we didn't. So they went, honey, and the whole crew, they went and got everything they needed, okay? So at the end of the night, when all the boys were at the house, Mylene came back by and she was like, aren't you even going to ask me how I did tonight? Even though we didn't get to record it, I sung the best that I ever sung in my whole life. And she could tell that he was detached from what she was saying. And she's like, what's wrong with you? And he's like, nothing. He was just writing. And he wouldn't look up at her. And she was like, look at me. What's wrong with you? And he's like, nothing. And then he finally broke down and started crying. And she was like, come with me. So she takes his hand and she leads him all the way up into the roof. And they get busy up there. And I'm like, is that y'all's first time? Or have y'all done this before? I don't know. To me, it seemed very, this is my first time-ish. But I don't know. Maybe I'll find out in the next episode. But I don't know. It was kind of sweet, even though they was outside on the roof. I'm like, whoo, girl, y'all ain't worried about nobody seeing y'all or nothing. Y'all just gonna be out here like this. But I mean, hey, whatever, honey. To each his own. They young. But but that was the third episode, and it was good. It keeps getting better every single time. So I'm ready to watch the next episode and do a review about it. So I hope you guys are enjoying the Get Down. I think they only released the first half of the season. I think it's like 6 episodes. And I have to look to to see when they're gonna release the second half of it. So maybe it'll be like 12 episodes for the whole first season. But I'm gonna go ahead and get through the first half and do reviews about it. So, all right, I'll catch you guys in the next video. I hope you're enjoying it. If I left anything out, make sure you leave some comments below so that we can continue the conversation. Okay, I'll see you guys later.
The pale-faced media tells us we all going to hell. But maybe we just the first ones to light the fire. Some try to snuff it out. But that's like oxygen to a flame.